Here are this week's 10 spelling words. What do you notice about them? Possible, horrible, terrible, visible, incredible, sensible, forcible, legible, responsible, and reversible. What are some of the things that join or connect these 10 words? Hopefully you would have noticed that they all end in the suffix ible, and it makes the sound uble, as in possible, horrible, legible, and they are all adjectives. So when we add the suffix ible, uble, to a base or a root word, it turns it into an adjective. What does that suffix uble mean, ible? Simply, it means to be able to be. For instance, the word terrible is the word terror plus able, so able to cause terror. The word visible, able to be seen. The word reversible, able to be reversed. Forcible, able to be forced or able to use force. Possible, able to be done. So it's a spelling pattern, a very common spelling pattern for adjectives. Now previously, we have looked at the suffix able spelled able. So how do we know that all of these words use the suffix ible and not the suffix able? Is there a pattern? Is there a rule that you can spot from looking at these 10 words? Why do they all use the suffix ible and not able? One reason is, and there are many, so unfortunately we just have to learn which words have ible and which words have able. Generally though, the words that end in able, if we remove that suffix, we are left with the clear root word. For the words ending in ible, we are not left with a root word. So if we take off the ible, pos on its own is not a word. But something like the word enjoyable, if we take off the able suffix, we are left with the root word enjoy. Hopefully these words in blue look familiar to you. We have done these previously when we looked at the suffix able. So it works the same with the word reasonable. If we take off the suffix, we're left with the word reason. Comfortable, left with the word comfort. Understandable, we are left with the root word understand. Valuable, our general rule is if the word ends in an E, we drop the E before we add able. Okay. And then have a look at the words on the left hand side. If we remove the ible ending or the ible suffix, we are not left with the root word. So possible, horrible, terrible. Okay, if we take off those ible endings, what is left is not the root word. It does not make sense on its own. Now, of course, as with all of our rules, there are exceptions. For instance, in the able suffixes, we don't drop the E for words like likable, changeable, sizable. There are a few of these exceptions that you just have to learn. The same on the ible side. In the word accessible, if we take off the ible, we are left with the word access, to access. And the same for the word destructible, we are left with the word destruct without the ible ending. There are a few of these exceptions. Something else that applies to to the general rule is that words ending in ible are Latin words, so they've come into English from Latin directly, as opposed to words ending in able are generally, not all, but generally French in origin. There are many more words that end in able as opposed to words that end in ible. For this week, you are focusing on these 10 words that end in the ible suffix. Make sure that you practice them throughout the week so that you are ready for the spelling test on Thursday.